Welcome, welcome, welcome to the service. We are live, y'all. We are live congregation. I said it's a live congregation. 11:11. Let those energies come in. Let those energies come in. We got a powerful service for the community today. We got a very powerful service for y'all today. Very powerful service for the community today. Oh, wait. Oh, here we go. Yeah, come on in. Look that. Get funky with that music. And look at our beautiful artwork. Look at it. It's so beautiful. Most beautiful. It is the most beautiful. We're gonna start with some psychic clairvoyance fails because I need to study that for myself, for the congregation. Because I'm going to be out of country next week, let's just say. And while I'm there, I do want to do some proselytizing. I would like to do some proselytizing. Like silly proselytizing, you know what I'm saying? How's my audio, by the way? Can everyone hear me? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear the music okay? Let me know in the chat community. Let me know in the chat community. Urena Bruce says, oh snap, caught the live at 11:11. God is great. Can you hear me okay? Let me know if you can hear me okay. Sophia Gibson is also here with that ranch. Can't hear the music, eh? Let's try this. How's that? You got the music now? Should be. Greetings, Justin Consciousness, with that ranch. Can you hear the music now? Is that okay? Or what's up? My volume is perfect. Oh, thank you. You are perfect. However you showed up is perfect. I just started a yoga class. Like, I do tech for them. And the first slide was, however you showed up is perfect. I hear, there we go. Okay, you changed the name back to the drip. Urain, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know. I saw your comment, though. I saw your comment that you were like, it's weird to call it Powerful Punditry is not, it's too much. YT Punditry, I think I should stick with. So I actually changed the handle to YT Punditry, but I don't know why it's coming in as the Drip Podcast. I don't know. I was surprised too when I saw the Drip Podcast again. I was like, I thought I changed to YT Punditry. But what do you guys think in the comments? What's a good name? Let me know. Let me know, because I do want to go more spiritual with the whole thing, with the whole community. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what's up? Can you hear me now? It's because I switched the things, and on that thing, there's no the audio wasn't on it. Can you hear me okay? Now you can hear me, right? Back? We back? Alessandro Novielli. Are we back? Anne Marie, what's up? Thanks for coming. Anne Marie, long time. Used to attend my meditation congregation, so if you're feeling a high vibration in there today, it's probably Anne Marie, but also it's a very high vibrational group. Marco G, what's up? Marco G says, yo, mod me. Well, let's put in some work here, pal. Let's put in some work. Marco, don't just come in and say, yo, mod me. Let's see some comments. Let's see some good karmas in there. And then if the karmas are righteous, listen, I'm modding people. Let me know if you can hear this music okay. Is the music fine? Yes, back. Yep. Okay, good. Man, you got a powerful service today. Little Canadian, but it does represent what's happening in the world today. It does very beautifully represent what's happening in the world today. We got to start with Sarah Jama. I can't believe she got fired. NDP sellouts. You guys are sellouts, man. no righteousness, no ability to have any kind of righteousness in your heart, just any music here? Can you hear the music there? Why not change the name to High Vibration Congregation? That's a good call. High Vibration Congregation. I like that. How does everyone like High Vibration Congregation? I like it, dude. I like it. Oh, okay. I see what's happening. How's the music audio? How's the music audio? High Vibration Congregation. You know what? We're going to make that official. The High Vibration Congregation. That's beautiful. It says everything we need. It's a congregation, so that means we're doing punditry. That's great. Guys, give it up for Urena Brew here. That's a powerful service. Powerful service provided. See, Marco G, you want to get the mod? You want to get that ranch? You got to put in karmas like that. Look at Urane doing karmas without even saying, where's my reward? Where's my wrench? He's happy. Also, support SEO and digital marketing services of Urena Brew. How about that? Why don't we do those karmas? Okay. High Vibration Congregation. That's great. And everyone should love that. That's a good name. Is the music coming in okay? Let me know how the music's sounding. Is the music okay? Am I okay? And then we're going to get right into a rip and dip. Yeah, the music should be good. That is good music. Music good. Okay, great. Great. Let's get into our first. I did want to say, speaking of High Vibration Congregation, I do think, like, I have a dream in my heart. And I have a dream where I'm going to go out in the street and I'm going to do stuff like this. This cold reading. This is the first thing I want to do. Okay, so this is the services I want to do. Because as you guys know, I am a certified minister. I can perform weddings. Certificate of ministry right here. That's ministry. That's me. Certificate of ministry. I got the certifications. You guys know about the Harvard, but did you know that I can do marriages? And I even have a card. See this? What does that say? Clergy. I can clip it. Clip it right here. Clip it right here. That's clergy, people. I'm clergy. So, listen, if anyone asks, you know, whose punditry are you listening to? You can say, hey, my pundit, my Babaji, he has official certification. He is a proper certification. He is not just running around. He is certified to do marriages. So I want to do, okay, so here's what I want to do when I'm in Texas. Street marriages. This is all the services I'll be providing. Should I show you my document? Hold on. Let's just go. No. Let's go here. I'll look at my document. I have a document for this. Okay, predictions. We got to do public forgiveness. The community needs that. We need forgiveness right now, people. You know, now general righteousness training I can't do on the street. That's where I tell people at the end of my street shenanigans, but actually they're righteous karmas if you think about it. Righteous karmas posing as shenanigans. I'm going to do predictions, oracle readings. Got my oracle reading deck here, Rumi Oracle. The only one I never leave home without it. The only one I really trust. The rest of them, honestly, I don't know if they got the connection. I got Tao Oracle. Too. It's great if you just go in and read it, but I don't know about the accuracy on these. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like just anyone's getting any card on this. Rumi Oracle, I'm telling you. We'll do a card today. I'm telling you, it always matches. We'll do a card later in the episode, and you guys are going to be like, oh my God, that's exactly that raised my vibration, right? It'll raise your vibration exactly to where you need it for whatever you are facing today. That's the power of Rumi Oracle. You know what I'm saying? So just doing those on the street. So yeah, Oracle readings, predictions, but that includes cold reading. So I want to watch a video about cold reading with you guys. Public forgiveness, obviously, marriages. And then I was thinking car blessings, business blessings. You know what I'm saying? $20 US, bless the car. $40, bless the business. But really the car and the business are both delivery mechanisms for your spirit into the society. Whether you're getting in a car driving to your friend's house, that's what it's here to do. It's a channel to deliver you. Because you yourself are a channel, a a source delivery system. That's what you could say that you are. We all are. We are like a source delivery system. Whatever work we're doing, whatever karmas we're doing, we want to go in there raising the vibration, channeling in some source into that situation. So if you got a car, it's a vehicle in a vehicle, you could say. You're a vehicle of source inside another vehicle, but what's that vehicle transporting you? So it's a vehicle of source inside a vehicle of source. Right? Same with the business. You know, if you own a business, any business, you want to deliver something of value. It's not just profit. You want to deliver something of value. So it is like you are a source delivery vehicle, and then you're creating a business that will be another larger source delivery vehicle. That's what I think all businesses should be. So yeah, no, I do want to shoot some street shenanigans, and that'll match perfectly with what we're doing here with our congregation, with our community. So I'm very excited to do that in other country. I won't say which country, but let's look at this. Let's look at some of these psychic methods, cold reading tricks. And then we're going to get into Sarah Jama, and then we're going to get into Trudeau. He's being a train wreck right now. Then we're going to get into Dave Chappelle, what he said. It's going to be a lot of Israel-Palestine, but we'll keep it light. There's so much stuff coming out about it that it's like hard to do the podcast because I'm like, what do I talk about? Every day there's some new thing. But we're gonna raise the vibration on that too. So let's start this baby right here because this is let's watch a couple of cold readings. We don't have to watch the whole 10 minutes. Let's watch a couple of cold readings together, see what these guys are doing. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm out there, I'm prepared. Holy Kool-Aid, great channel by the way. Give it a like. I don't need to watch it.
The universe is knowable. One need not appeal to mystical, magical forces to account for things.
In my last video, I talked about hot reading techniques that psychics use to research their victims ahead of time. But what about when they have to read a live audience or read a stranger on the spot?
Wow.
For that, they usually resort to cold reading tactics. If you're unfamiliar with their tricks, it may seem impressive, but if you know what to look for, then a psychic hustle will smell fishier than a rotten tuna. Now there's a lot more to cold reading than I could possibly cover in just one video, so make sure that you subscribe and keep an eye out for part 2. The most obvious aspect of cold reading is shotgunning, where you shotgun out a question into the audience and hope that it sticks with someone somewhere.
A lot of it is you preemptively tell them. See, because the thing about these kind of clairvoyant readings, right, is that it does seem like there's 3 people you can get. You either get the prediction wrong. No, there's 3 types of people you can get. You can get someone who does not believe. And if they do not believe, because the cold reading is a dance, it is a dance. You could say it's not you channeling in the reading on the person. Cold reading, this skill, it seems like more of a dance. So you have 3 types of people in the world. You have someone who does not believe. If they do not believe, it's not working. They're doing 80% of the work here. When you cold read, when you do psychic work, the person getting the reading, they're doing 90% of the work. You're giving off these subtle clues, these subtle hints. They're like leading you into a direction. And then they repeat what you say just to be like, so then it is your boyfriend. And then they almost think that like, oh, he knew it was my boyfriend. But it's like, no, you literally, sometimes you ask them first. Like you lead them into it, you know. And then also, you know, like the demographic. You're like young, if it's a young person and you can say like, oh, you're heading into a time of uncertainty. And they're like, it is uncertain right now. Because it's like, yeah, you're 22 and you don't know what university, you know, you're in university, you're going to graduate soon, whatever it is. Whatever it is. Or you can, if it's a brown guy, you can be like, there's a business, some kind of business that you might be working on. It's a real estate. Okay, great. Yes, that is a business. Okay, so you're working on some kind of business, the real estate business, and then you're worried about the interest rates are. It's okay. So you got to worry about your mortgage payments. Like they say it, and then you say mortgage payments, yeah, and then you say it like that, and then I feel like a lot of times they're like, oh my God, he knew. But you kind of let him in. Let's watch a little.
Who had the issue with the brain? Aneurysm, brain tumor, Alzheimer, or dementia?
But for those, you know, some people watching this will say, and I'm a skeptic, will say, look, you're, you know, in a room of 250 people, whatever, somebody will certainly have had Alzheimer's.
It's the details that spirit gives is what is mind-blowing. It is not common that someone would lay someone to rest in a fuchsia dress.
But did she really get a fuchsia dress?
Who was buried in a red dress? Or someone was...
I love the concern. She goes, the acting is incredible. She goes, who was buried in a red dress? Who buried the mother in a red dress? That's brilliant. Of course. So if I got a group, I could say, hello, excuse me, ladies, I'm a clairvoyant. Now, which one was it that had a boyfriend trouble? I knew it. Your name starts with a J. Jessica, yes. I didn't I say? I said in this group there is one Jessica and she needs help. She needs our help. I told him. I am a great clairvoyant. Something like that. I think that's good moves. I love that.
In a red dress.
Who's in a red? Look at this, how mad she is. Who's in a red dress? Whose grandmother was in a red dress? Who's burying in a red dress over here?
Or someone was viewed, because they had me stand at a casket and I saw someone viewed and they said, can you believe that this is how I was laid to rest?
Notice how she started specific with a red dress, then went more vague. If you start specific and get a hit, people are pretty impressed. But by resorting and shifting...
Holy shit, this is great research. Man, I knew this would be a good, powerful lesson to watch with the community. Let's watch it.
Image.
And make sure that you're watching it to know if someone's trying to scam you. You know what I'm saying? If someone's trying to clairvoyant, do something like this. Whose mother's wearing a red dress? And then, oh man, so that's the first bone. She's expecting a big, like, oh my God, it was me. But she didn't get that. She goes, because I'm seeing a vision, and she's lying there. She's saying, can you believe they put me to sleep like this? And that's now going to be the thing.
She increases her odds of getting a hit. Sure enough, someone on the other side of the room buried someone in a fuchsia dress.
My mother was in a fuchsia dress.
But wait a second. Caputo seemed to imply that she guessed the fuchsia dress.
It's the details that spirit gives is what is mind-blowing. It is not common that someone would lay someone to rest in a fuchsia dress.
Making it seem like she was more accurate than before. Remember, she guessed either a red dress or an odd burial, not a fuchsia dress, which is...
This is terrifying, right? Like, to go out on the street like this, you basically never admit that you're wrong. That's it. You just come in, who buried the mother in a red dress? Who's in a red dress? Fuchsia, I told you the details. God gives the details. That's great.
Is what the lady on the other side of the room connected with. But let's be generous and give Caputo the benefit of the doubt here. Let's not assume that she's trying to mislead, and maybe that she just misremembered or didn't articulate her thoughts very well. Even still, how is it that psychics like her seem to get nothing but hits with audience members? When a person in the audience connects with something, psychics often fire off a barrage of questions, reading a person's body language to see if they got a hit or not. If the person's nodding, smiling, or crying, they'll pause and let them elaborate. But if they look puzzled or taking too long thinking about it or shaking their head, the psychic is quick to rattle off more questions until one of them sticks.
What kind of stuff do you think I should ask them? I think I'm going to go for more like, maybe come in, find a problem with the cold reading, right? And then you can kind of guess and predict problems depending on who they are. Like, you see them. Excuse me, ladies. Someone sent a very awkward text here. Who sent the awkward text? I got a reading of a bad text, maybe from I'm getting a reading of like some kind of a Tinder romance here. No? Okay, I'm getting a reading of breakup. Someone's thinking about a breakup. Okay, no. Okay, I'm getting a reading of somebody's wedding ring looks too cheap. Must be you. Something like that. No, that's too much. Okay, let's do it.
Does that make sense? Or do you understand that?
Well,
Who passed from the chest?
This way, the misses are less obvious and only the hits stick. And when they do, they resonate. The person, after all, is desperately hoping for a connection and is usually more than willing to help the psychic out and make the guesses fit.
Okay.
Yeah, there's three types of people I was saying. There's people who don't believe. If they don't believe, it's not going to work. Then there's people who are like, maybe, I don't know, here or there. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. You can start pulling them in. But then you get those magical people, they want to believe so bad. I said they want to believe so bad. Like, in my mind, I'm thinking I'm going to go out on the street and people are like, you're not really a clairvoyant, you're a scammer, get out of here. Like, that's what I'm expecting. But what I should be expecting is someone to be like, oh, I had a dream that I would see a psychic today. Oh, tell me anything, Babaji. Like, that's what I should be waiting for, expecting, hoping for. And that's my positivity bias. That's a positivity bias that I got to watch for myself.
Okay.
Lost her brother, Bob.
Okay, Bob's spirit's here, and
if it becomes obvious that nothing's sticking, the psychic can easily excuse it away with something like, I could be piggybacking.
because I might be piggybacking.
Or it could be someone else in this area.
Somebody's in prison, or somebody was in prison. So in this section, somebody was in prison.
Or think
Somebody.
about it,
It's not common, but you could be like, so in this section, somebody was in prison. Nobody was in prison. Tax issues. Got a tax audit. Okay, that's something. Legal. You could do that. Wow.
Remember later.
Maybe have a think about it. It may come back a little bit later on. Okay.
But how do they get a hit with something like, I'm feeling a father figure who died of cancer with a J name like James connected? If you're going to make a guess as a psychic, and let's face it, all cold reading is a series of questions, guesses, general statements, and inferences based on observation, you're going to want those guesses to be high probability, without people realizing that you're playing the odds. Here's a great example.
Yeah, that's good for me. I think I should go very, very high probability. You know what I'm saying? When I sold candles in a few months, I was able to predict with 90% accuracy what scent someone would buy when they walked in. It wasn't psychic. It was pattern recognition, personality, and body language. Very good karmas. This is very good karmas. Learned a lot about cold warm reading in psychology school. Can definitely be a righteous way to help understand themselves as long as the intentions are Irie. This lady is scammer. LOL. Yeah, true. 100%. Nachama Gluck, though, thank you for the 60. Hello to the congregation. Nachama Gluck, what is that? What's that? What currency is that donation? I just want to know. Listen, either way, we appreciate every donation, but I just want to know. Just wondering. Curious. It's an interesting symbol. It's like some kind of a. It's infinity. It's 60 infinities. It looks like that. Imagine.
James Van Prague has just turned his back and had the show host give some ribbons to a random person in the audience for him to blindly read by holding a matching pair of ribbons.
Is this a female that is holding these? Yes.
No shit, Sherlock. You're in a room packed with women. I see maybe 4 dudes in the entire audience, but most psychics are more discreet than this. If I claim to be a psychic and guess that someone in a crowd knows a John Smith, nobody would be impressed. But did you know that James, not John, is the most common guy's name in the US?
Who is James?
Who has the Jim in that family? Or the James?
Is the Jimmy or James connected?
For girls, the most common name is Mary.
The name of either Mary, Margaret.
Is there a Mary person, like a Marie, a Mary?
Got a connection to Mary. I'm getting Marie, Mary, Maria.
And who is the MR name? Mark, Mary, Marie?
While people are more impressed when a psychic guesses an exact name, more often than not, psychics just guess an initial.
I feel he's like a J.
Shekels? That's sick.
He's also showing me a J.
Why can't they just talk? Why does it got to be, there's a J name, there's a this?
Well, because even when guessing the most common guy's name in America, these vultures still get misses.
No.
Is he J-A or J-U? Or is he not John or J, I don't know the name. Jerry, Jeffrey?
Jez.
Jez. Okay, close enough. I don't know that I get that.
No.
Because I...
Or the James.
If they go from James to...
Was it James? I love that reaction.
Jerry, Jeffrey?
Jez.
Okay, close enough.
Close enough. Jez. I'm not going to get Jez. So Jerry, John, Jerry, Jimmy, Jez. Okay, well. We can't get your foreign names. I can't get a foreign name. John, Jerry, what is it? Jim? Oh, Jez. Okay, I can't get a... What is that? Jez? What is that?
I don't know that I get that.
No.
Because I...
Or the James.
What I like about her, though, is that, like, it's wrong, but she's not giving up hope. The look on her face, her hope is consistent. She believes.
If they go from James to a J-sounding name, then they can radically increase their odds. But sometimes even that fails.
Or J,
Is it J sounding?
or G, it could be G.
Her,
Is there
her
first...
sister Jerry?
Bingo. Throw in...
Is it Jay sounding? They want to help. They want to help. Yeah, it's like I got to come in with what the problem is. I got to come in like, I saw you in a vision. Something like that. Excuse me. I saw you in a vision. Excuse me. Can you tell me something? Can you tell me? Your name starts with a J. Is there a J? Is there a G? J sounding. Jerry.
a J-sounding G name like George, Gerald, etc., and they even further increase their odds.
They tell me to talk about the J or G name like Jack or James.
They tell me to talk about the J or G connection. There's a J or G name that they want me to highlight.
Is there a J or G in that name? Like,
Oh, J or G connection. That's interesting. Because if you say there's a J or G connection somewhere in the name, there's a just sound. Okay, Jennifer. Yeah. That's exactly what I was seeing.
Marjorie?
Is that where like the J or G like George or Jerry comes up? Where's the J or G name? Are you the J or G sounding name like Janie or Joni? Who is the J name?
It's a J or G.
Giovanni, but we call him Johnny.
Jim? Judith?
My name's Jade.
Because it would be too time-consuming.
They want to help. They want to believe. Make sure you don't get caught up in this believing so hard,
To
you know?
examine every name in America, let's look at the top 200 names in the U.S. over the last 100 years, according to the Social Security Administration.
Y'all hit that like button.
Of the top 200 names in America start with J or G.
Cesar
That's
Cabrera.
19%. To keep the math simple,
Ghost only
we'll
speaks
say 1 in
English,
5.
yes.
That doesn't seem like that high of a number, but think of it this way. Here's an example of a pretty small family tree. Only counting close relatives like grandparents, parents, uncles, aunts, siblings, nephews, nieces, and cousins, there are already 20 people here. If you're married, you can double that number with in-laws. But I don't want people to accuse me of exaggerating, so I'll lowball the estimate.
Y'all hit the
Now
like
take
button.
That 1 in 5 statistic. Odds are that about 4 people in this family of 20 will have a J or a G name. Assuming that no one in the audience is married or has a massive family, then in an audience of about 250 people, there will be approximately 1,000 J or G name family members
Wow.
represented. Now, most people who go
Yeah, because if you go to the family, okay.
to these types of readings, go to connect with one or multiple lost family members, meaning that there's probably at least 250 deceased people represented by this audience. If 1 in 5 of those 250 have J or G names, then that's 50 deceased people with J or G names represented in an audience this size. And remember, that's on the low end, assuming everyone has a small family and isn't married. But most people in these audiences are older, probably have larger families, and have probably married.
I want to do a lot of like very maybe generic readings, and then when they agree, I look at the camera. I'm like, I'm seeing a J-G connection. There's some kind of a J-G just sounding. Margaret? Just look at the camera like that.
At least once, so that number is almost definitely much higher. Now, the leading causes of death in the US are heart disease and cancer by a long shot, usually targeting the middle-aged or elderly.
Oh, hit the heart disease. So the J-J names, heart disease.
In a room full of adults, it's pretty high.
If they're adults, but if they're younger, I think you got to go boyfriend, girlfriend. Because they got sex on the mind, these youngsters. They're trying to fall in love. So youngsters, you go sex. You go girlfriend, boyfriend, sex. Marriage, marriage, divorce even. These godless heathens in America, they're not getting married. Who's getting married? Who's getting married? But there is... Okay, so JG... Yeah, and definitely got to look at the camera like... Nailed it.
The odds that someone has lost a father to one of these causes.
Who had the heart problem?
But just to be safe, the psychic can increase their odds further.
Who had a heart problem? That's almost like, who buried their mother in a red dress? Who buried their mother in a red dress? This one, someone's got a heart problem. That's good.
By guessing a father figure, which includes fathers, uncles, grandfathers, fathers-in-law,
So I could say there's a father figure. Yeah, always go father figure, mother figure. Because if it's the father and mother, they heard father, and then, yeah, father. Then you go like figure, well, yeah, your father is your main father figure, so I nailed it even more. But if they say someone else, then you go figure. Yeah, father figure, then you're right. You're right either way. Wow.
Adopted fathers, or just a father.
What a powerful skill. I gotta really hone. I think it's important. Even for crowd work. If I'm doing stand-up, I'm doing crowd work. This is the good shit.
Friend.
I feel like there's a father figure reference that they want me to bring through. But that to me would be like father, uncle, grandfather.
First thing I have a man here is a father figure that comes to me, and I feel like I'm over here.
They tell me to acknowledge a male figure to the side who has crossed over. That's maybe like husband, brother, cousin, or friend.
Is your dad?
Male figure, husband, brother, cousin, or friend. That's cousin, brother, mother, or friend. Father, cousin, brother, or friend. Father, cousin, brother, friend. That's everyone. This is literally anyone you could know. I'm getting a father figure. I'm getting a male, like a father figure. Could be a father, cousin, friend, or thing. But there's a fatherliness to all male figures, the paternal in our paternal society, in our patriarchy.
passed?
Interesting.
No,
Who's the father figure who's passed?
my grandfather.
Your grandfather, and he must have been like a dad figure for you, and in some respects,
It feels more like...
In some respects, he must have been like a father. Yeah, so you have to say really obvious stuff very seriously and just get those agreements.
a father in the spirit world.
I don't know if your dad's passed, but in that back section, I've got an older male who's coming through back there. But it's an older male energy. That's maybe like father, uncle, grandfather.
Okay, is there a father figure that's passed?
Older male figure that's passed, that would be like a father figure.
Now, if you throw it all together, you have a deceased father figure who died of cancer, and there's a J or a G connected. Notice, to increase their odds even higher, they don't say that the person who passed had a J or G name. They just say a J or G name is connected to the deceased.
They're telling me to talk about the J or G connection.
As in, they're related to someone with a J or G name, which remember, is just about everybody. Now, these are the same exact types of tricks used by mentalists.
When you take a look at a lot of the mediums out there, I know exactly what those mediums are doing, and I think many of them are scum. I think they're taking advantage of people in a very vulnerable moment.
And there is nothing supernatural about rigging the odds in your favor, making a hit a statistical inevitability. It's easy to roll sixes every time when you play with loaded dice, and it's easy to fool vulnerable and grieving audience members when they're too desperate to realize you've stacked the deck. But once they get these hits, they narrow in on one person. How do they continue to get hit after hit? Well, assuming that they're not doing a hot reading, which I covered in my last video, then they're probably using other cold reading tricks, including Barnum statements, which I'll cover in my next video.
Wow.
Make sure that you're subscribed and click that bell button to get notified so that you don't...
100%, man. What a great channel. What a great guy and what a great channel. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the service, y'all. Welcome to the service. I said welcome to the service. Oh, look at that. So cringe, these TV shows. 100%, man. Just in Consciousness. What's up? Wait, can y'all hear me okay? Can y'all hear me? And make sure, like, oh, someone said hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed, you're hitting the like, you're doing all of God's karmas, all of God's work there. That's a nice setup. That's nice. That's a nice... Okay, cute. Fun. Cute. That is our beautiful ashram, people. Look at that beautiful digital ashram live streaming from YouTube, from the High Vibration Congregation. We are a high vibration congregation. High vibration congregation. Let's officially change the name together, shall we? Because this is important karmas for the community. We got to change this name, man. It's got to be... Oh, no, now's not the time. I can't do it right now. Can I? Your channel. Open link in new tab. Okay, manage videos. No. YouTube Studio. We should do this. Let's get it done, people. Let's get it done. Your channel. Switch account. No. How do I... Okay. Customize channel. Let's bring it up for the whole community to see. And let me play a little track for you guys. This is Funky Rider by Noir A. Blanc V from the YouTube Creator Library. And you're listening to the drip, 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 drip. You're listening, and you are part of the High Vibration Congregation. You're part of the High Vibration Congregation. Live on YouTube. The High Vibration Vibration Congregation. Right here on YouTube. I keep almost saying the drip. Let me show you this, because we got to do this for the community. The whole community's here, y'all. Let's see if it comes up. Okay. Look at that, the high vibration congregation, and then I put a high vibration congregation. Let's take congregation, high vibration congregation. Hit that publish. Wow, we just did God's work, people. Verify it's you. Okay, well now I gotta verify it's me. You know, you guys don't need to see all this. But listen, thanks for coming, everyone. I do appreciate you. Look at that beautiful ashram that we are operating from. We are channeling from that beautiful ashram, and now we got to get into the real issues. We got to get into the politics now. We got to get into the politics now, y'all. Let me just verify that it's me. It is me, and we are now officially the High Vibration Congregation. Interdimensional Teal says, I am honored to be part of the High Vibration Congregation. Yeah, we're raising it, people. We're raising it. And I think with my street stunts that I was talking about, like I said, I want to do marriages, street marriage, car blessings, business blessings, house blessings, obviously. You know, but they all got to lead to a sense of higher vibration. And by the end, I should legitimately be able to say, did I raise your vibration? Great. Well, then you're now part of my high vibration congregation. Go over to YouTube, make it official. Make it official. Tune in. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the move now, right? I'm getting a lot of hearts. I'm getting a lot of hearts because you're probably excited to be on the ground floor of something so powerful. You can probably sense how powerful it's going to be. Look at these hearts and parties, these high vibrational party streamers coming in, because you guys are probably hearing this and you're saying, this is going to rip. I'm in on the ground floor. This guy's going to be the next viral shit. God damn it. I'm on the ground floor of some major viral shit over here. Let's get me out on the streets, though. I got to get out on the streets. And I do want it to be scammy a little bit, like silly scammy. But by the end, of course, we got to tell people like, hey, we're just here for the righteousness. We're not here for all that. Can you guys hear the music okay? This is Funky Rider. Let me rewind it a bit. Because this Funky Rider by Noir A. Blanc V that we got from the YouTube Creator Library, playing it live for the High Vibration, Vibration Congregation on the YouTube live streaming channel. High Vibration Congregation, right here on YouTube. I gotta stop. I can't see the drip. I keep almost saying the drip. Let's see if it changed now. It's not changed yet, but... Oh! What's that? What's that? It's not officially changed. You guys can't see what I'm seeing right now, but... Okay, you guys gotta see this, because this is really a sign from God. Look at that. I'm officially still the Drip Podcast, but when I say hello, obviously, see, do you see what's happening there? Source energy is coming in and correcting it in real time. We are the High Vibration Congregation. We are a high vibration congregation. Make sure you support Urena Brew with his work over there at the SEO and digital marketing. I mean, the guy's an SEO and digital marketing expert, and he actually left a comment saying, I don't know about this YT punditry. I don't know about that. But high vibration congregation, the congregation has spoken. And maybe I got to make a card that says, join my high vibration congregation. We're just trying to raise the vibration, people. And I should put the vibrational chart on there, the scale of righteousness that we have created ourselves officially. This is an official product of our congregation. And next, we're going to go into some Israel-Palestine stuff, guys, because that is the most righteous thing to talk about right now. Man, we did God's work today. We really did God's work today, didn't we? Thanks for coming, everyone. I do appreciate you. And let me play that track again. It's such a good track. And like the part where the music hits right there, it's beautiful. Funky Ride. It's called Funky Ride. Let me cut and paste it for you guys. It's a beautiful song. What a powerful track. Can you guys hear the music okay? Noir A. Blanc V. Making beautiful, beautiful music for our congregation, for our ashram of loving kindness, for our digital ashram of loving kindness. We're raising the vibration, people. Look at that. See where the beat breaks down? Can you guys hear me? What a ashram. Chipko, it was lucky. Chipko, my bike got stolen from work, but thankfully they have a bike to work scheme so I can get a better one. Okay. Turning a negative into a positive. CEB Applejack 59 says, we are 70. Oh, you got your apparel company. Looking good, buddy. Let's honor him. Let's honor CEB Applejack. He's done so much great karmas for our community here. Let's honor him and his new clothing company, 70. Beautiful. Apparel. Shop. Yeah, I'll shop. I like these two hearts right here. I like that. That's very much in line with what we need to be wearing here. And I could wear it on the show. Oh, I forgot to get something. This comic. I did some incredible road gigs with these comics. And one of them sold me her mug. And I do have to honor her real quick. Let me honor her. Yeah, this is Jordan Brown. What a beautiful. I got to pay her for this. I'm going to pay her. Let's see what we got. Do better. I like this one too. It's a bomber jacket. Okay, cool. I like that. The toasty, but I think this is our product right here. Should I go large or medium? Dark heather. Royal. Okay, not bad. Carolina blue. Sport grade. That's nice. Okay. Let's get it. Well, I'll have to put this after. Is there a discount code? No, minus $8.99. Got the discount code. Okay, great. Let's see. Do they deliver in Canada? Oh, no. There's no Canada? Okay, well, we'll figure it out. Listen, we got Applejack here. Applejack, great company, great with the merch. I love what you're doing. We do need to go into our first topic, actually. This is big. And this is Applejack. This is news that you're gonna like because I know how you think and I know what you're concerned about. I feel like I have a sense of what's on your radar because you are righteous and you do have a good sense of what is righteous and what should be talked about. So let's get into that. Let's get into that. Shall we? Let's look at this. This is Sarah Jama. Sarah Jama. And this is Canadian news, but this is important for everyone to hear about because she just got kicked out of Canadian legislature and it's not righteous, y'all. I said it's not righteous. Let's take a look at it, shall we?
Hamilton Center.
She got kicked out of the NDP, our quote-unquote far left party, our peace party. This is what's happening in the world right now. The far leftists, the peace people, they can't even stand up for peace. Let's listen to what she said and what she got fired for. This is not righteous, people. And so we will. If we are a high vibration congregation and we will speak about these issues in the community, let's take a look at it.
Dramatic moments began when Jama came to the legislature to defend herself ahead of a vote to censure her. The NDP worked with her office to craft a statement both would be happy with. But Jama ignored it and read this instead.
The Ford government has done nothing meaningful to say about these atrocities and has now targeted me to distract from its own scandals. I restate my call for an immediate ceasefire by Israeli forces and for the immediate restoration of food, water, fuel, and electricity in Gaza.
What's the sin? What's the sin? They're saying, the NDP are saying this is too sinful. You can't say it. So then she tried to get her to take it back, but then she just went out on the floor and said it anyway, God damn it. She briefly lied to her. She lied in the name of righteousness. She said, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll say this statement instead. Then she went on the floor and she ripped it, dude. That's called the full 3 minute it's a rip.
The lack of cooperation, a bridge too far. So mid-morning, Jama was informed she would no longer sit with the Ontario NDP caucus.
We are a team,
and she has done a number of unilateral things that have undermined our team.
We are a team, my ass, dude. What do you believe in? Your NDP? It's pathetic. You can't stand up for just a ceasefire and humanitarian aid? You should all be removed, and she should be the only one sitting. Foolish. That's where the righteousness scale puts it.
Collective work and broken the trust of her new reaction today after Sarah Jama's removal from the NDP caucus and her
Can you guys hear this okay?
in the Ontario legislature. The now independent MPP has been under fire since making a social media post 2 weeks ago decrying the, quote, occupation of Palestine without mentioning the October 7th attack by Hamas militants on Israel. Jama has since apologized but not retracted the statement, leading the majority progressive conservatives to table a now passed motion preventing her from participating in debates and calling on the speaker to not recognize her in the House.
I restate my call for an immediate ceasefire by Israeli forces and for the immediate restoration of food, water, fuel, and electricity in Gaza.
Those were just some of the words from Sarah Jama in the provincial legislature on the day Ontario NDP leader Marit Stiles removed her from caucus. In a statement yesterday, Stiles said,
Dude, she's in a wheelchair. This is how crazy we are about Israel right now. This is how crazy the world is about Israel. She's in a wheelchair. Can she call for peace? She didn't even say kill Israelis. She didn't say attack the Israelis. She's in a wheelchair. And she said, I think it's unfair to keep bombing Gazan civilians and to take away their food and electricity and water. 5,000 plus are dead. She didn't say that, but I'm saying it. 5,000 plus are dead. Okay, you got it, man. 1,000 of your guys died. You got 5,000. It's crazy because even the Indian government, which is Hindu nationalist and which is very anti-Muslim, and generally speaking, I think the Hindu nationalist government, they look at Israel and they say, we'll support anything you say. We've always supported Jewish people here. We support you, whatever. But I think even the Indian government went, saw what was going on, and they said, yeah, we're going to send humanitarian aid to Palestine. India sent humanitarian aid to Palestine. It's a Hindu government. I'm telling you, I can tell you from the inside, they're racist. They're terrified of Muslims. Okay? And they generally look at Israel and they say, okay, you want to kill yours, we want to kill ours, let's go. We're a team, we're buddies, we'll support you no matter what. Even India on this round said, okay, you guys are out of control. We're going to send humanitarian aid to Palestine. I like what India's doing right now. Before this happened, I thought they were kind of racist, but now I'm feeling like, you know what? Let's take it back to India levels in Israel. Let's take it back to India levels. Let's not go too out of control here.
in part, Ms. Jama has undertaken a number of unilateral actions that have undermined our collective work and broken the trust of her colleagues. Stiles saying she was left with no option but to remove Ms. Jama from our caucus. The leader of the Ontario NDP had originally defended Jama after she issued an apology for her initial statement on the Israel-Hamas war.
The government is coming after her, and in the most drastic way. I mean, it is a very drastic move to censor an MPP.
But walked that back yesterday.
There's a number of issues, obviously, that have come up in the last things, and we've really tried to work hard with her because we wanted her voice to be able to be heard, but she continued to...
She's in a wheelchair. We look like monsters. She's literally in a wheelchair for life. We look like idiots. Still, I'm too afraid to stand up to Jewish people, basically. Right? Like, I mean, who the fuck, like, who supports this? This is another Ukraine. It's interesting how it's just like another Ukraine where there's like an American pro-military, pro-Christian, right-wing faction that believes in this 100%. And I'm liking what I'm seeing with a lot of younger people, where young people are like, and look, this is not me saying I'm anti-Israeli. I'm saying, like, if you really care about Israel, instead of just going along with every dumb thing that they're doing when they're pissed off and they're in the heat of passion, it's like if you had a friend and they're like, and someone hurt them and really hurt them, like someone, I don't know, imagine you had a friend and someone like hit their kid with a car, you know, God forbid. They're okay, but they hit the kid with a car. Now the parent is gonna be like, I'm gonna fucking kill him, I'm gonna, and they go out to kill. You as a friend are like, hey, just, I know it's bad, I know it's rough, like, you don't need to, you're gonna go kill them and you're gonna go to jail. Like, what are you talking about? You're gonna go beat them up and go to jail? Like, sure, go yell at them. I'll come with you, whatever. But don't get a gun. What are you getting? You're getting a loaded gun for this? No. We're gonna go talk. We're gonna tell him, like, hey, be careful. Fuck you. Shouldn't have done that. Say whatever you want to say. That's it. If you're a real friend. But what we call being a friend is like if someone's kid gets hit with a car or whatever, God forbid, if something bad happens, someone like steals money from your friend, let's say, and they go, I'm getting the gun, let's fuck him up. And you go, yeah, you deserve it. You deserve to get revenge. Let's go. It's like, no, that's not a real friend. That's a terrible friend. And these people, these NDPs, cowards, instead of doing what they should be doing is say if they really cared about the people of Israel, they would say, hey, I know you're mad right now, but don't end up like the Americans who spent $1 trillion in Iraq, killed 1 million people, committed all these war crimes, created all these terrorists, created ISIS, created all this antagonism and anger towards America around the world. Don't be like that. Don't make that mistake. In the end, Osama bin Laden wasn't in Iraq, and Iraq didn't have weapons of mass destruction, but they're so mad after 9/11 that they just had to go. Same thing here. These goddamn cowards, instead of being able to stand up to them and say, hey, I know you're mad right now, but like, you're gonna kill 5,000 of them, you're gonna cut off their electricity, water, food, like, there's 2 million people there, and 40,000 are Hamas. It's ridiculous. Love you, but this is too much. Like, that's what a real friend would be saying. Who's in the audience right now? What do you guys think? That is the most high vibrational thing to say. This is a high vibration congregation, and that's the most high vibrational thing you could do is stand up to them and say, this is what the deal is. Too afraid to speak up to Jewish people. Sir, Jewish people are not a monolith or the Israeli government or military. Nuance, por favor. Yes, of course. No, you're right. Actually, Nachama, I would say most of the people, like a lot of Jewish people are standing against it. I should say, I guess, pro-Zionist. I don't know. I don't know what to call this group because it is a lot of people. But yeah, no, there was a group of very religious Jewish people who marched into, I think, like the State House or like the White House. Not the White House, but like the same thing that the January 6th people did. They ran on that, these religious Jewish people, calling for peace. So a lot of Jewish people are calling for peace. A lot of Israelis are calling for peace. But it's this hardliner faction. But it's not just hardliner. Like, I do feel like there's a lot of people born and raised in Canada. And I guess they went to birthright. And they basically feel like, oh, you know, I went to birthright and now I got to support anything that Israel says. And it's like, Israelis don't support everything Israel says. You know, that's the nuance. That's true. That is the nuance that we need, is to say, like, first of all, not everyone supports it. You know what I mean? Not all Jews support it. And then also, yeah. Salman Khalaf says, my heart has been ripped to shreds. Yes, of course, brother. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see people fight like this. There's no reason for this fighting. I mean, there is a reason for it. Like, you are technically justified, I guess. That's the difficult conversation. And Sarah Jama, that's all she's saying.
To undermine and not work in good faith with us.
The party's removal of Jama, followed by her censure at Queen's Park, which the NDP voted against, has elicited strong...
Where's the original?
MPPs voted today to censure NDP Sarah Jama over controversial comments about the Israel-Hamas war.
And while Jama's party voted...
A post about the Israel-Hamas war. Now, in that social media post earlier this month, Jama spoke out against Israeli occupation of Palestine land without mentioning the Hamas attack launched against Israeli civilians, which has been described as anti-Semitic. Jama has apologized and condemned Hamas, but the post remains pinned to the...
Wow, maybe it's removed from YouTube. I swear I saw it on YouTube like yesterday. This is what's happening to the office of the NDP leader who kicked her out. Honestly, I support it. Let's watch what they
Former
did
NDP MP
to her stupid office. These NDPs, what losers? What good are you, NDP?
Sarah Jama no longer able to participate in the legislature. Her presence is still being felt. CTV's Mike Walker reports from her constituency in Hamilton Center.
Sarah Jama's constituency office in Hamilton.
Oh, brother, where art Liam? What do you think about anti-Semitic energy coming from the Arab social media? I condemn it, of course. Of course, I condemn anti-Semitism. But the thing is that the Palestinians are Semites too. Like, this whole term is so politicized at this point. What's anti-Semitism? Calling for peace in Gaza is anti-Semitism? Then, I don't know. Like, I got to hear what they said, brother. Oh, brother William, where art thou? Personally, I think it's under-recognized. No, I'm sure some people are going off on like, some people are being super anti-Semitic and going off. Nachama Gluck says, I must speak up to point out this nuance. Yes, we should all speak up to point out the nuances, people. We got to speak up. Bless up, Justin. Bless up, Justin. Oh, Justin Consciousness. Yes, bless up.
Remains close.
By the way, I can add wrenches to people right here and now, by the way. Right here and now, let's give out some I mean, where's our boy? Where's our the guy just gave us a new name. I mean, Nachama Glock, I feel like for you standing up like this, I'm gonna add you as a moderator. I'm gonna make you a mod. Let's see if it works right now. I'm gonna upgrade you to standard moderator. Let's see if it works. Nachama, you deserve it. Nachama deserves the upgrade. Let's go. Let's go, people. We're making changes today. We are the high vibration.
A day after she was censured in the legislature and kicked out of the NDP caucus.
I don't agree with it 100%. I think that the NDP is a pretty progressive party until, I guess, somebody speaks up and says how they feel.
Mixed feelings among constituents after the censure motion deemed Jama's pro-Palestinian social media post that didn't mention the Hamas attack on Israeli civilians as anti-Semitic and discriminatory.
Based on what she said, that's her opinion. It doesn't necessarily represent what we in this community feel.
Many wonder what this means for their voice at Queen's Park now that Jama is silenced and sits as an independent.
We now don't have a voice at Queen's Park, so where does that leave us? If we express concerns to her, where do they go?
She's representing a certain segment of the population, so if she cannot speak, that's an issue.
Jama was absent at Queen's Park today. Her desk inside the House.
Dude, she got voted in, you pieces of shit. What the fuck kind of country is this? This is how, like, she's literally voted in. She represents Hamilton, huge city in here in Canada. Shout out to Hamiltonians. Shout out to Hamilton.
Removed from the NDP bloc. The opposition has condemned the censure, but Merritt Stiles defending the decision to remove Jama from caucus, stating it was about a series of incidents.
It's untenable to be put in a position constantly where you're having all these surprises. It just breaks the trust down.
Vandalism at Stiles' constituency office this morning. The message, Free Palestine, blood on your hands taped to the window, and red paint smeared across a picture of the NDP leader.
What's the red blood on her face, though? Shouldn't it be like a Palestinian kid and you put blood on their face? It's the blood is on her hands. I get it, though. I get it. They put it in words. I get it. The blood is on your hands.
We have a bigger issue right now in this province, which is we have a very divided communities. We have a rise in...
Because people like you are cowards. Because you're a coward. You can't stand up. Get into the nuance. We said it, or Nachama said it earlier. Stand up for the nuance. Get into the nuance. Get into the details. What is this one side evil, one side good nonsense? This is why people go to war. This is how you manufacture consent. The media, the politicians are manufacturing consent for this war by censoring anyone who speaks out against it and by basically saying, okay, well, Israel can do whatever they want now. And any criticism of it, it has to come with, you have to say 5 Hamas is bad for 1 Israel is bad. You have to say 5 times that Hamas is bad before you say 1 Israel is bad. Then only can you be taken seriously. Shut the fuck up, man. So, fine, she didn't. I'm sure if you asked her, she would be like, yeah, Hamas is a terrorist organization. Everyone knows Hamas is a terrorist organization. No, I have not heard a single person be like, yeah, well, They're great. Like, no one thinks Hamas is cool. Everyone thinks Hamas is a terrorist organization. You got to say it every single time? What's next? You're going to make them, like, denounce Islam? Every time they talk? Imagine every time a Jewish person talked, they had to be like, well, I don't agree with everything that the Israeli government does, but... Like, that's ridiculous. You cannot, like, someone was saying yesterday that they should boycott Jewish businesses, and I was like, no way, man. You can't boycott for being Jewish. You can maybe boycott businesses that are making a ton of money in Israel and spending money on military stuff and spending money manufacturing consent. That I agree with. But to just say, oh, you're Jewish, I'm not going to support your business, that's ridiculous. The nuance has to be there. Because they're, we don't know. Like Nechama said, we don't know what they support, really. But these politicians are cowards, man. This is weak.
And Islamophobia and anti-Semitism.
Yesterday, the Hamilton Center...
Islamophobia. You're doing Islamophobia, you idiot.
MPP spoke out against the censure while expressing support for the Palestinian people.
The Ford government has done nothing meaningful to say about these atrocities and has now targeted me to distract from its own scandals.
Jama can continue her constituency work and participate in committees. The censure silences Jama in the legislature until she makes a formal apology and retracts her original social media post.
It's a double whammy in the sense that she's no longer going to be recognized in the legislature by the speaker, but she's also losing her privileges that arise from being a member of the official opposition caucus.
It's always better to do an apology. That is the right thing to do. But then she is entitled for her opinion.
Styles and...
That's such an Indian guy. They're so like, just follow the rules. Don't make trouble. Government is nice. Canadian government is nice. Don't make trouble.
The decision to remove Jama was not made lightly, but at this point doesn't see a path for Jama to return to the NDP caucus. Mike Walker, CTV News.
Wow. Very righteous, though. Very righteous what she has done. We are here at the Digital Ashram. We are supporting this Digital Ashram here, a Church of Loving Kindness, a high vibration congregation. We are a high vibration congregation. Should we look at Dave Chappelle? We did have Dave Chappelle in the thing, so let's look at his controversial statements too then.
I denounce anti-Semitism in all its forms. And I stand with my friends in the Jewish community. And that, Kanye, is how you buy yourself some time.
Dave Chappelle kicked off his Saturday Night Live monologue, appearing to give Kanye West a playbook on how to avoid blowback after making anti-Semitic remarks, a move that cost West $1.5 billion in partnership deals.
I have a lot of Jewish friends, so I'm not freaked out by your culture. I know a little bit about it just from hanging around. Be like, yo, let's go out at school tomorrow. They'll be like, we can't go out. It's Shanana tomorrow. I'll be like, where?
The president of the Anti-Defamation League blasted NBC, saying in part, disturbing to see NBC SNL not just normalize, but popularize anti-Semitism. Why are Jewish sensitivities denied or diminished at almost every turn? Why does our trauma trigger applause?
When you first saw the monologue, were you offended?
No, when I saw that and he was referring to Shana Na, I was laughing. I mean, I thought that was really funny.
But David Schwartz, former president of his Long Island temple, did take issue with Chappelle's defense of Kyrie Irving, whose repost of an anti-Semitic film and initial refusal to apologize got him suspended from the Nets.
I know the Jewish people have been through terrible things all over the world, but you can't blame that on black Americans. Kyrie Irving was nowhere near the Holocaust. In fact, he's not even certain it existed.
I think it's very dangerous for even a comedian to allude to the fact that the Holocaust didn't take place.
Yeah, that is an issue with Chappelle, though. He is a little conspiratorial. Like, he is a little bit... I mean, that's why I think he ran away from the Chappelle show. Like, was it... The Chappelle show was amazing. And then it was like, no, they got too fake, and I had to go to Africa. It's like... It's like, it is a little bit of like, oh, they're doing something. They're attacking me. He does have that a little bit. The thing is, most good comedians have like these mental quirks that they're off. You know what I mean? Like a lot of great comedians are like, they have like extremely low self-esteem. And then that's where the jokes come from. because they're doing these really self-deprecating jokes. A lot of comedians are very fighty and angry all the time. And then that's where their jokes come from, because then they're on stage doing these rants, and the rants, if they rip, they rip. But like a lot of good ranters, they have anger management issues, like Bill Burr. He's got that conspiratoriality to him, and it creates incredible bits. You know what I mean? It gets him brave enough to speak out on certain issues, because in his mind, like every time people try to cancel him, he almost sees it as like, oh, well, you guys are all together trying to force me to be into trans rights. So someone has to fight back. So I feel like he sees something, and then that allows him to do the bits.
Psychiatrist Dr. Carol Lieberman says she didn't find Chappelle's remarks offensive, but was confused.
By the end of it, you're left wondering whose side is he on, Kanye and Kiri or the Jews? And perhaps that's what he wanted.
TV critic Eric Deegans.
When you're talking about something like anti-Semitism, there's already concerns that it's rising in society, that Jewish people are facing increased dangers because anti-Semites feel emboldened by the current atmosphere. So, we have more reason than ever to ask.
Yeah, it's true, man. Applejack has this like the skirt. Remember, like when he was on Chappelle's show, he had these things about how like they always want to put black men in dresses, and I was like, do they? Do they always put black men in dresses, or does it happen occasionally? Like it's happened a couple of times. He does have conspiracies like that, and very like white people are evil conspiracies. He like the bits are amazing. It allows him to write these incredible bits where the cops are always evil, and then like he can exaggerate that more and whatever. Like he's amazing comic, but like his white people are evil bits. As a brown guy, I was like, I don't know, maybe like let's not say all the white people are evil. You know what I mean? Like I kind of felt like that. Like I was laughing, but at the same time I was like, okay, just like they're not. Oh, every white guy's evil. Like I don't know if every white guy's evil, but whatever.
Our most prominent comics and performers to be definitive about where they stand on anti-Semitism and not play these rhetorical tricks.
We reached out to Chappelle's reps and NBC for a comment, but have not yet heard back. Jessica Moore, CBS 2 News.
Oh, Chappelle. He did a space Jews joke, which landed him in trouble too. So you know what? These things happen. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We are at 40K, so higher than whoever this person is. And look at that beautiful ashram. We are building this ashram. We are building this temple, this church of loving kindness. And we need your likes. We need your subscribes. We need you to tell your friends. And like I said, I need your energy channeling in, because in 10 days, I'm out. There's not going to be any live streams for 10 days. I'm going to be gone. But while I'm gone, I do need your energy channeling to me, because I got to go out on the street and do these cold reading. Yeah, I got to cold read them. I got to do the cold reads. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to like lock down like 4 or 5 good cold read sentences. And maybe that's the thing. It's like each YouTube clip can be like, I did this as a cold read. Here's what happened. And then just do it to 20, 30 people. And then I did this as a cold read. Here's what happened. It could be that. Could be the channel. The video. I don't know. But it's going to be a lot of editing. It's going to be work. But I'm very excited for it, because I want to, we got to serve the community. We got to serve the community. And we got to let people know it's possible to just go out, chat with people, hang out, have fun on the street, be dancing in life. Be dancing in life. So I will be there dancing in life. Quite a lot of black men in red dresses, though. No, I understand. And look, I'm not even saying that Chappelle's totally wrong on it. He's not wrong. Like in his neighborhoods, the police were like white and racist, probably. It happens. It's in his neighborhood, though. And then he's saying it to everyone. And then he's kind of like has the bitterness of someone who came out of that neighborhood. And like, yeah, as a brown guy, I was just like, it's funny. Like I always love Chappelle bits, but I was always like, oh, he's really mad at white people. Like he really thinks white people are some evil force that can control us. And as a brown guy, I feel like I'm in charge. And now we are in charge. We make more money than anyone. Actually, I did want to show you guys this Hasan Minaj clip that I found yesterday. Let's watch it. It's so good. This Hasan Minaj thing, like it feels good because of how many comedians have been like, look at what Hasan Minaj is doing. You should watch him. You should watch that Hasan Minaj. And I'm like, don't just tell me to watch a fucking brown guy. But regardless,
in the September issue
there
of
is
the New
something
Yorker, Claire Malone shared a
about this whole Hasan Minaj story that feels like, yeah, of course these stories are fake. Like the whole time the specials were coming out and people like that I knew were like, his special was amazing, dude. He says this and this. Do you know what happened to him? The FBI sent him anthrax. Can you believe it, man? It was an amazing special. Like people have told me, and I'm like, oh, because I've watched his stuff, and I'm like, I roll my eyes as an artist, as a writer myself. I kind of roll my eyes like, you're taking some liberties here. But other people don't know. They're not into art. Like they don't make art, so they're just kind of going along with it. But this one I got to show you because this one is a sign of very low vibration.
You've been my.
This is a sign of very low vibration. Let's look at the scale of righteousness real quick before we start the topic. This is something you got to watch out for. Only someone who is in fear and darkness and ignorance would make up these lies the way that he did. So let's watch this one section. We talked about it before, but like it's just so funny to me that he did this. I can't believe he did this. Okay, let's take a look at it.
My best friend. And you're really special to me. You've been my best friend. I hear the pitter patter of her footsteps. She's like, hey, wait up. I was like, oh, hey, what's up? She's like, listen, ever since my family moved from Nebraska, you've been my best friend. And you're really special to me. And this year wouldn't be the same without you. So I was wondering, will you go to prom with me? You're about to go to prom with Bethany, mother Reed. Mrs. Reed opens the door. She has this look of...
That's like her real name, too, I think. The Bethany Reed. I think that's her real name.
Concern on her face. And I look over her shoulder. I see this dude, Jeff Burke, putting a corsage on Bethany's wrist.
No. It's so fake. Oh. Like, it is weird when my I know so many people in my family, too. They're like, it's amazing. It's so good. And I never want to be a hater and be like, But he's always seemed like this to me. It's just fake and like, it's just not righteous. It's just, you can tell because when someone's so overly like trying to be righteous, that's not righteous. That's the issue is that he's all the time, even on his other show, it's like too much trying to be righteous to the point where he's making up stories to raise his righteousness by becoming more of a victim. He becomes more righteous. It's like such a weird, I don't know. I always found it kind of cringy.
And she's like, oh my God, honey, did Bethany not tell you? Oh, sweetie, we love you. We think you're great. And we love that you come over and study. But, tonight's one of those nights where, we have a lot of family back home in Nebraska. And we're going to be taking a lot of photos tonight. So we don't think it'd be a good fit. Do you need a ride home? Sad part is I felt bad for being there. That's the embarrassing thing. No, like, who was I to ruin their picture-perfect celebration? And it's not like they were a bunch of toothless yokels.
Oh, my God. Shut up.
Feeling sick. Back of the truck. I could let that.
I guess this kind of racism too, like maybe I just haven't felt it for so long that it's weird now. Even my bits, any bits that I do about being brown or being like a kid and someone called me a packer or something, I don't even like doing it as stand-up. Because I'm just in such a different place. Like I just don't feel this victimization at all
roll
anymore.
Off my back. I'd eat off their plates. I'd kiss their daughter. I didn't know that people could be bigoted, even as they were smiling at you. It's hard to understand when you see people saying that they love you, but they're afraid of you at the same time.
Again, when Claire Malone dug into the story, here's what she found. The woman disputed certain...
This is the issue, okay? This is the problem, is that it's not just that he made up the story. The making of the story alone, okay, it's not my thing. I'm not that into it. I would accept this story if it was completely fabricated or if he just didn't include any real details. But the fact that he was like half and half real details, like... The girl who he did this to, Bethany Reed, let's watch.
Facts. She told me that she turned down Minaj, who was then a close friend, in person days before the dance. When Claire Malone confronted Hasan about this lie, this was his response. Minaj acknowledged that the woman was correct, but he said that the two of them had long carried different understandings of her rejection. As a brown kid in Davis, California, he said, he'd been conditioned to put his head down and just take it, and I did. The emotional truth of the story.
Take what? She said, no, you idiot. It has nothing to do with being brown. Oh my God. I have a different interpretation Dude, imagine anytime you ask a girl out. Like, I should do this as a street video. Just ask a girl out, and then she says no. It's like, oh, because I'm brown and you're racist. No, sorry, I'm just not interested. Well, I didn't know that you could be bigoted and sweet and kind at the same time, and just run away. That could be funny. That could be, but it's I don't want to do it. It's so gross. So you're a racist. Come on, dude. She said no. I interpreted it as you're a racist, and you said no because I'm brown. That's how I interpret. That's basically what he's saying, but he's saying it in such a good official language.
Story he told on stage was resonant and justified the fabrication of details. There are so many other kids who have had a similar sort of doorstep experience, he said. So it's clear that Hasan feels his lies are justified, since they capture the spirit of what other people of color have experienced in America. What Hasan doesn't want to acknowledge is that he, being an ethnic minority in America, wanted to...
Dude, imagine I did that to a girl, and then she's like, no, it's okay. And then I'm like, okay, so then let's go on a date at this restaurant. And she's like, I don't really like the food there. Oh, you're racist. Yes, master. We'll go wherever you want. Oh, God. Then she's like, oh, no, it's okay. I like that. I like that place. I like it's great. It's Tex-Mex. It's okay. I'll get something. I'll get the calamari. Like calamari, but I'm vegetarian, and you're gonna eat meat in front of me. Oh, you racist! Oh, the racism. And then you could just go right into having sex with the girl, probably. With this guy, that's what his fans are like, dude. These white girls that are going to watch him, and they're clapping while he's like, I didn't know that you could be bigoted and be sweet or whatever. The brown people, okay, that's a different story. But the white people clapping at that, I bet you could guilt them right into sex. Honestly. Idiots. Why? What? It probably would work. Maybe that's a social experiment. I'll think about it.
To spin up tales of racism as an avenue to further his career, which he did, parlaying these stories into 2 Netflix stand-up specials, a show, movie roles, and countless other opportunities. And he is currently considered the front-runner to take over as the host of The Daily Show. And that's the sad truth of current affairs. American society's desire to eradicate racism is being manipulated by otherwise well-adjusted, well-accepted people. And they paint themselves as noble victims and survivors of harsh racism, doxing for years Hasan, why is it that you had to make up all these lies? And Hasan's lies have had massive consequences on the people he has used in these tales to sell his status of
This is the girl too. This is the Bethany Reed girl.
Victim, as Claire Malone discovered when she spoke to the woman who turned Hasan down for the dance.
Look, that's her real name. Like, he blurs out the picture, but the name he puts, like, the girl said no to him like days or maybe months before the dance, like just said, sorry, I love you, like you're my friend, but I don't want to go. He interprets it as like, oh, so you're a racist. And then she's actually married to a brown guy. That's the worst part.
The woman said that she and her family had faced online threats and doxing for years because Minaj had insufficiently disguised her identity, including the fact that she was engaged to an Indian American man. A source with knowledge of the production said that during the show's off-Broadway run, Minaj had used a real picture of the woman and her partner, with their faces blurred, projected behind him as he told the story. The woman said that Minaj had invited her and her husband to an off-Broadway performance. She had initially interpreted the invitation as an attempt to rekindle an old friendship, but she now believes the move was meant to humiliate her. Hasan's intention by putting the story into his
I was telling a friend, and he's like he's still in love with her. Like, he's taking. Let's see, Bethany Reed. Let's see, watch her husband. Oh no. Where's Bethany Reed? Oh, here we go. Look at this. Married a brown guy. Bethany Reed. Hot. Married a brown guy. And has these political posters. This is some kind of political activism in the background. So he's out of pocket, man. It's so rude. How could you do that to someone? But I'll tell you how. Because the righteousness is so low, basically. The people trying to be the most righteous are actually the least righteous. Because basically what they're doing, and I think this is true for Israel too, It's like they feel like they're so much of a victim that they're justified in victimizing others. And this is something that, yeah, comes from the deepest, lowest parts of the righteousness scale. When you're at the bottom, you're feeling guilt, shame. These are things that you feel as a victim. You feel guilt and shame. So then from that bottom place, you can commit the most evil because you can just justify it as like, well, I have to. I'm oppressed and I'm being killed. And my people are dying. What do you guys think of the idea that like if you refer to a trans person by their pre-trans gender, then that's called dead naming. You dead named me. I'm dead. Isn't that a little harsh? Does anyone else think that's a little bit extreme to be like, I'm dead. You just dead named me. You might as well have just stuck a knife in my heart and I'm dead now with the name because you used the previous name, not the new name. I don't know. Anyone else think that's a little bit of a rip? Bro, very rude of him to use her name and face. I don't even post family. I know, dude. So true, Anne-Marie. There have been many comedians of black origins who have bought this issue up, but yet dismissed as a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, no, and like Applejack, I'm not even saying that it's not true. I'm sure it's happened. And by the way, we're talking about the black celebrities being asked to dress up in women's dresses. Switching topics. But yeah. I have heard it, and I'm not even saying, like, because you know what it is, I think, with, like, asking black men to wear a dress? It's also very low vibration, but it's basically a type of comedy where you want to use, because black men, I think, in America are so strong, getting them to dress up as women, it's like this opposite comedy joke that I think several people have been like, oh, man, wouldn't that be funny if they're dressed as a girl? Because they're so manly. That if they dress as a girl, that's funny to them. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of, yeah, I guess it is a racism. It is like a, you know, it is a weird thing. It's a weird, I don't know. It could become a fetish too. Like, so I could see someone being like, I can only get a boner if I see a black man in a dress. I need pictures of black men in dresses, and then you just got them saved on the phone. Or I'm sure there's like porn out there. You know? Oh, Cher Core says, no, the name is dead, not them. Well, that's good, Cher. I'm glad that that's what it is. And it's not like, I'm dead now. You killed me. Socially, in the society, you killed me by using my dead name. But I'm glad that it's just the name that's dead. Okay, fine, fair enough. I'm playing a track right now called Quandrine Dream by Noir A. Blanc V from the YouTube Creator Library, and you're part of that. High vibration, vibration congregation. You're part of the high vibration congregation. Let's do one more. This is a new channel I found called Bisbo from India, and I love the voice. He's got that Indian sing-songy voice. The black, okay, this is a great comment by Justin Consciousness, who from his thumbnail looks like he is also a black man. And so he's probably the one to speak on this. It says that black men in dresses is an embarrassment ritual. Yes, I can see that too. Yeah, you're right. It is laughing at their expense. It's saying like, look at this big, oh, you're a big, strong man? Well, now you're a little girl. It's that kind of thing. By the way, can everyone hear the music okay? Is it loud enough? Is it coming through? Before we go into the next section, make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe. Oh, we got to do a Rumi Oracle card too, and we got to do Trudeau. Okay, let's do Trudeau quick, and then we'll go Rumi Oracle card. I like these Noir A. Blanc V songs because they're free, obviously, that's good. But then sometimes they have a climax, and I wonder if this one's going to have a climax. High vibration congregation. Oh, that's nice. Thug shaker, huh? I haven't seen a thug shaker meme, interdimensional teal, but thank you for that reference. I will look into it. This is Trudeau. This is Trudeau versus India. It's not even Canada versus. It's Trudeau versus India. This is a little spat that's going on that we got to cover on the show. We got to talk about it for the community, because I think, honestly, I think Justin is being very low vibration, and possibly India is also being low vibration. But like, I don't know. There's no proof that they did the thing that he's saying they did. So let's get into this topic real quick. Let's play the video. This is by Bisbo from India.
Justin Trudeau was in a fix. Midway through his second term, his minority government had a 63% disapproval rating, and he lagged 10 points behind his Conservative Party rival. He needed something to turn the tide.
Abracadabra.
And he found it when the Khalistani activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar, president of a major Gurdwara in Surrey, British Columbia, was shot dead by 2 masked gunmen in the parking lot of the shrine. Nijjar was the perfect patsy for 2 reasons. One, that he was Sikh, and it was a Sikh party with 25 seats, whose leader, a die-hard Khalistani activist, was the one who supported Trudeau when he fell short in the 2021 elections. And 2, that he could unite his countrymen by taking action against India meddling in its internal affairs and appear a strong leader. India had been pressuring Canada for several years to deport Nijjar, but Canada had resisted, even granting him Canadian citizenship in 2014 and
By the way, Nijjar was like he did a fake refugee claim, and then he did a fake marriage, according to the Canadian government, and then they still just gave him his citizenship.
Protected him despite a red corner notice and a 10 lakh bounty over his head. And despite evidence of his involvement in terror activities in Punjab, extortion, targeted killings of Hindu and RSS leaders, and bomb blasts. So when the head of another pro-Khalistani outfit, Sikhs for Justice, accused India of being behind Nijjar's assassination, Trudeau was quick to support him, even though they lacked any evidence whatsoever.
Trudeau was quick to support him. I like that. You can tell. That's how I know it's from India. Otherwise, there's no way to know this channel's from India. It's that voice. He's got that. Trudeau was quick to support him.
The fact that just 3 days earlier, another Khalistani activist died under suspicious circumstances in a UK hospital, and yet another a month earlier was shot dead in Lahore, gave enough fodder to the imaginative mind. But almost immediately he embarrassed himself by asking his partners in the Five Eyes to pressure India when none obliged. In fact, American officials themselves...
It's good. This is a great channel. It's like political cartoons mixed with like just, getting you up to date on the story. But yeah, he basically stood up in Parliament and accused the Indian government of, and very vague language too. He says we have credible allegations of potential involvement. And then he came out with another statement recently saying like alleged crimes of India. So it's like, do you have evidence or not? Like, I don't understand what he's doing.
had no knowledge of Nijjar's plot.
I think the evidence is there, but I think the Americans are like, you're not allowed to release it. So now Trudeau's like, you're done, dude. You're like a little Canada. You're not a big enough country to get India to fall on this. And now he's screwing up Canada's relationship with India. When he could have just talked to them. I mean, other people have come here and killed. I guarantee you, the Israelis, they're going to come kill that Nazi that had stood up in the parliament, whatever. He's in hiding. Because the Mossad agents, they'll come kill him. They'll be like, sorry, he was a Nazi. We got to kill him. He's trying to do terror. He did terrorism in my country, so against my people. So that's it.
Else they would be obliged to inform Canada under the duty to warn doctrine. No matter, he pressed on, sending a fact-finding team to India before the G20 meet, demanding India cooperate. It was rebuffed. Then just days before the G20...
It was rebuffed. That was Jay Shankar.
Trudeau suspended trade talks with India, then sought to drive it in when he visited New Delhi for the G20 summit and bring up the topic personally with Prime Minister Modi. Instead, it was the Indian Prime Minister that gave the Canadian head a public dressing down, scolding him. India and Modi have reason to be angry. Khalistan is a non-issue in India. 95% Sikhs proudly embrace their Indian identity. This was reconfirmed when there was not even a murmur of protest after Amritpal, the self-styled Brindanwale, was arrested after a 35 days chase in the months of March-April this year. But some countries, especially Canada, seem to delight in keeping the Khalistan issue alive and providing militant Sikhs a safe haven. Canada even facilitated military-type training camps where Khalistanis were taught how to handle AK-47s, sniper rifles and pistols. Some of those trained were then sent to...
Did they facilitate it or did they just allow it? I thought they just allowed it. I didn't think they facilitated. This video is a little out of pocket.
India in Feb 2016 to target police officials and political and spiritual leaders, but were apprehended. Canadian authorities also looked the other way when Khalistani Sikhs held a referendum of Punjabi independence under the guise of freedom of speech, nor took any action against those involved in heinous crimes, including the killing of Punjabi singer Sidhu Moosewala, whose hit was allegedly ordered in Canada by gangster Goldie Bra. Earlier as well, during the 2020 farmer protests, Trudeau had criticized Prime Minister Modi as a ploy to woo the Sikh vote. In Trudeau's 2018 visit to India, a man convicted of the attempted murder of an Indian cabinet minister was invited to events organized for the Canadian PM. If anything, this amounted to a clear case of Canada interfering in the domestic affairs of India. Justin Trudeau seems to be following in the footsteps of his father Pierre Trudeau when he was Prime Minister when it comes to the issue of Khalistan.
Wow.
In 1982, he refused the Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi's request to extradite one Talvinder Singh Parmar for the murder of 2 police officers in Punjab. The same Parmar was later involved in the 1985 Air India attack that claimed 329 lives when Khalistani terrorists blew up the plane in midair.
Wow.
It is no wonder that no Prime Minister since Indira Gandhi in 1973 has visited Canada, except for Manmohan Singh's 2010 G20 visit. Despite this history, Trudeau took it personally when Prime Minister Modi refused him a bilateral meeting and met him briefly only in a full-aside chat while his Five Eye allies only paid lip service. Thereafter, Trudeau immediately began throwing tantrums, refusing to shake Prime Minister Modi's extended hand during a wreath-laying ceremony at Mahatma Gandhi's Samadhi cremation site. Allegedly, Trudeau, over the objections of his security, took out his anger by changing his secure presidential suite installed with bulletproof glass for a normal room, then skipped the president's reception dinner and avoided being present at the announcement of the India-Middle East-European Economic Corridor. But karma stepped in when a maintenance issue in his plane left him stranded in his New Delhi hotel room for another 36 hours, where he preferred to waste his time rather than take up India's offer of a substitute plane. Returning home angry, Trudeau told members in Canada's House of Commons, equivalent to Alok.
Yeah, but they were not going to... See, he's probably scared to get in the plane because he's probably like, they're going to try to kill me like my dad let that terrorist kill them. It wasn't even them, though. It was just a terrorist attack on Canadian citizens. But so...
Credible allegations of a potential link between agents of the government of India and the killing of a Canadian citizen, Hardeep Singh Nijjar.
India responded using harsh words normally reserved for countries like Pakistan and Afghanistan by labeling Canada a safe haven for terrorists, extremists and organized crime. Canada then expelled India's Ottawa Raw Station Chief Pawan Kumar Rai, and India retaliated by expelling the Canadian Intelligence Agency Station Chief and halted visas for Canadian citizens after Canadian Sikhs threatened Indian Hindus in Canada, asking them to go home. Trade relations were downsized and music concerts cancelled. India refused to back down and initiated tit-for-tat moves, forcing Canada to reduce the number of its diplomats from 62 to 21. All over a non-issue because Canadian police have neither identified the shooters nor those who had paid them, and no charges have been filed. And while it makes Indians proud that they are accused of having capabilities of chasing their enemies to the far corners of the globe, the truth may lie in inter-Sikh rivalry in Canada's own British Columbia,
Wow.
a rivalry India could have used to its benefit.
It's true, man. They fight. It's a warrior culture. I tried to do this as a joke on stage. It did not work, but I'll tell you guys. Look, Sikhs, they fight. It's not an insult. It's cool. I mean, they have security guards at their weddings. Hello? Security guard at the wedding? Now, the thing is that the security guard's also Sikh. So Sikh people fight Sikh people. Then Sikh security guard breaks up the fight. It's all... I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? It's like they gotta... That's, you know... They're warriors. Even we know a guy who owns a Sikh temple here. And he's a gangster, man. He's hit people. He's physically punched people. He owns a temple. Can you imagine if me, the owner of a digital ashram like this, was going around punching people in the face? You'd say, Babaji, what is this? But they'll fight. They're down to fight. It's not an insult. I'm not saying it as an insult, really. I'm saying it as like, look, it's part of the culture. They're a warrior culture. They're on the border with Pakistan. They've saved India several times from like marauders, from like conquerors, whatever. They save India. So you know what? They're going to fight a little bit. You can't save India. You can't be like, okay, be a fighter when you save India, but then you're not allowed to be a fighter. It's like, it's a warrior culture. It's going to happen.
July, another accused in the 1985 Air India bombings. One Ripudaman
On the one hand, I can see India doing it. And if they did, Canada should have just talked to them privately, because you don't put out these public things without having proof ready. No other country has done it. Every other country, other countries, I don't want to say no other country has done it, because maybe in the past someone has done it, but generally speaking, you basically have to have evidence before you make the allegation. And Trudeau just stood up in Parliament and said it. It's very rude of him. And now he's not backing down. And none of the G5 are supporting him. This video is amazing.
Malik was shot dead in the hotbed for Khalistanis, Surrey's, British Columbia. Malik was at odds with his one-time pal Nijjar, especially after he had written a letter praising Prime Minister Modi in Jan 2022. The grapevine suggests that Nijjar eliminated Malik last year, and now Malik's camp took their revenge by eliminating Nijjar. Sources say an open contract on Nijjar had been doing the rounds of the dark web for a few days before the killing. Trudeau made an error in judgment in targeting India. The West earlier used the 1980s Khalistani playbook to keep India in check, but the world has changed. And Canada's policy of mollycoddling extremist Khalistani Sikhs may
What is this? These cartoons, man. This is how hardworking India is. Half of these cartoons would have been enough. Half of these cartoons don't really make sense. Like when the two of their tongues are hitting each other, it's like, what are these cartoons, man? But this is the hard work ethic of India, dude. Bisbo, good job.
only end up biting itself. Bisbo's limerick. Interference there was of another kind. Other people's business they wanted to mind. Stay out of my zone and leave me alone. A mountain of a molehill is all we find. You will also find these...
Wow, Bisbo's limerick? What a hard
sources
dude.
listed in our video description section.
This is India. This is why they're number one, man. You can't mess with India right now. Who's working this hard? Dude, they put a limerick at the end. That was great. Cyclone Max says, Babaji, what's up, baby? Babaji, Christians tell me tarot cards are witchcraft. We must watch our steps. YouTube will get us. Well, guess what, pal? Those are the oracle cards. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one. Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, guide my hand to pick an oracle card that is for the highest good of myself and this high vibration congregation. Let me put on a music track too. This is called Finest Like by Noir A. Blanc V from the YouTube Creator Library, and this is the high vibration congregation. Let's go. Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, guide my hand. Help me pick the card that is for the highest good for myself and the whole high vibration congregation. And pick it right now. Passion of the Wild Red Mother. Card number 36. Passion of the Wild Red Mother. Passion of the Wild Red Mother. Don't ask the conscious ones about the wine. Behold the glowing effect of it in the eyes of drunks. Rumi. Yeah. And by wine, they do mean people who are high on the beloved, or God, or Tao, the source energy. Bring me your unreasonableness, your insanity, your love without reason, and your passion. The passion that makes you crazy and shoos all logical restraints from your mind. Leave your ordered thoughts, sensible plans, and appropriate attire at my door. Put on your animal fur and sing to me in gibberish. When my beautiful goats die, I make drums from their skins, and their spirits live on in my passionate play. When my birds drop their feathers, I garden them and put them in my hair. I gather them and put them in my hair. Come drum with me as I place feathers in your hair, and we honor the spirits of my animals, of your animal nature too, wild and free as you are in truth. Stick your tongue out and growl at those who try to tame you with guilt, shame, and fear. Resonating? Do you think I give a damn for any of their silly games? Those games of reason and logic. Of course you should do it this way, they say. It makes sense. But I care not for what makes sense. I care for what brings you alive. You guys are probably thinking, holy shit, Babaji just did a clairvoyance. Because just the reading of this poetry raises the vibration. it reminds you of what you're here to do, people. So, Applejack, the Christians, well, let's not stereotype all the Christians here, Applejack. Some Christians might be saying that, but they could be incorrect. We just don't know. Anne Marie, I think Dave Chappelle is kind of turning into a George Carlin comedian, commenting on society and making people think. 100%. Wasn't Dave in a dress in Robin Hood Men in Tights movie? It's a humiliation. Yeah. It's humiliation, and it's also like, it is like sexist against the women too, because Kids in the Hall used to do it, and now they're not allowed to do that. But there's like these gay guys, and they would dress up like women and do like, you know what I mean? It used to be a common thing. It's kind of making fun of women, and it's making fun of men for being like women, I guess. It's similar to the Thug Shaker meme from a little while ago. I gotta watch that again. I haven't seen that in a while. Thanks everyone for coming. You are loved. This is the High Vibration Congregation. And I'll be back after 10 days, but for 10 days I'll be traveling. So send me your love, send me your wishes. Send me your wishes so that I can go over there. Oh, wow, it says my most beloved congregation, High Vibration Congregation. We'll change that. But I got to go over there and make some videos. I got to go do some street videos of me doing some clairvoyance on the street. So very excited for that. Very excited to show the community that anyone can be duped and anyone can look like you're some kind of spiritual leader, but it's not. It's a falsehood. So, of course, the whole point of the videos is to raise the vibration. It's a social experiment. You know what I mean? We're not going to hurt anyone. But thanks again for coming out here. I do appreciate y'all. And let's play our track. Have a high vibrational day. Have a high vibrational day. Wow, Nachama Gluck. 60 shekels. Wow, we got shekels today. CB Applejack, $5. Thanks both of you for coming in. I do appreciate yous. Have a good day, would you? Would you? Cesar Cabrera, peace to you too. Just in Consciousness. With that ranch. Sophie Gibson with that ranch. Applejack with that ranch. Putting in karmas. Nachama Gluck. Newly appointed with the ranch. Newly appointed. Is the music okay? How is the sound out there? Sophia Gibson, of course, came in early, came in first. Urena Brew giving us the name today, the High Vibration Congregation. And that informs us too to just do anything that's high vibration. High vibrational stories. Yeah, I gotta do more stories. Thanks everyone, I appreciate you. Can you hear the music? Yeah? Cyclone Max says, thank you, Babaji. We wish you safe travels in your voyage of vibrational awakeness. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Justin Koch says, blessings, congregation. Blessings to you too. Blessings and good vibrations to all. Blessings. Sending love to the congregation and much appreciation for the honor of the ranch. I will do my best to wield it well with the highest of vibrations. Vibes. Very good. Music awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. A lot of hearts. A lot of hearts popping. Love ya. Watch, I'm going to write something else. Dun, 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 dun. The High Vibration Congregation. Look at this. We're doing it together. Send me topics. If you think someone's being a real sinner. Oh, I forgot to review the sinner, that woman who went on the date and refused to go in the Cheesecake Factory. I gotta review that next time. I gotta review that. Oh my god, I can't believe it. How could you do that? I'll try to review it on the road. Maybe do some road ones. Yeah. Maybe do some road single rip topics. I gotta start doing single rip topics too. Single rip topics, very important. Anne Marie, thanks for coming.